A low-profile sect leader turns a haunted clue into his next revenge weapon. Spoilers ahead for this Chinese manhua arc. Lu Chaoge is supposed to look like the calm master of a weak sect, but the world keeps testing whether that mask is real. His disciples are eager, undertrained, and dangerously loyal. His enemies include demon cultivators, wild beasts, and people connected to factions he may know from a previous life. The funny part is that everyone keeps treating his practical choices as genius. The dangerous part is that his system, his sword intent, and one strange purple spirit keep giving them reasons to believe it. The pressure starts inside the sect, where one dark-haired disciple wants the simple answer. If enemies already want them dead, why not kill those enemies first? Lu Chaoge shuts that down, because demon cultivators are not ordinary troublemakers. They are the kind of threat that turns brave juniors into dead weight if they rush in too early. The white-haired young woman takes that warning personally. She wants to stand beside him, not hide behind him, and her embarrassment becomes a vow to train until she is useful. So Lu Chaoge splits the work: cultivate harder, study alchemy, refine artifacts, build strength before revenge. Then night comes. He meditates, gains a small burst of experience, and follows a purple spirit trail toward Chen Xiao's house. When he questions it, the trail seems to point at killing Chen Xiao, then rejects that idea like he misunderstood the whole message. The purple spirit is not acting like a normal enemy, and that makes it more interesting. Lu Chaoge tests it, negotiates with it, and watches it reject what he offers with enough attitude to turn danger into comedy. Still, there is power under the joke. He talks about hidden strength, a core pill, and a corpse-related plan, while the spirit keeps reacting to objects around him instead of obeying cleanly. Then it reaches for a scroll, and Lu Chaoge realizes this thing may be more than a nuisance. The scroll is tied to the sword technique called Sealed Dragon Entering the Sea, and that changes the value of the creature. Maybe it can lead him to other treasures of the 13th Hall. By dawn, he returns to the sect, checks the prepared supplies, and calls everyone to gather at the mountain entrance. Morning exposes a problem no sword intent can casually fix. The sect is poor. Lu Chaoge inspects the mountain protection array with a young woman beside him, and the result is painfully underwhelming. It gives a little protection, but nowhere near what a real sect-protecting formation should provide. He understands the gap immediately. Without enough materials and stones, even ambition cannot build a proper shield. He comforts the young woman, pats her head, and promises to find money, which is sweet until you remember this is also a survival issue. Then disciples rush in with a strange flaming object that reacts like a tracking tool. It points toward the Forest of Flames, the same place where Lu Chaoge once obtained marrow-cleansing grass after killing a deviant beast. And if a demon cultivator is hiding there now, the forest is not just dangerous. It is bait. The group enters an ancient region where every tree seems to be warning them to turn back. A blue and white robed companion explains the danger. Powerful clans, dangerous cultivators, deviant beasts, evil spirits, and hidden opportunities all overlap here. That is already a nightmare. But then he looks at Lu Chaoge and reads the wrong emotion. Lu Chaoge seems calm and curious, so the companion decides this must be deliberate sword cultivator courage, the kind that treats danger as a sharpening stone. And Lu Chaoge does not even need to correct him. He just walks forward while his reputation writes itself. But the forest answers fast. Corrupted signs appear, the atmosphere tightens, and red-eyed beasts attack at close range. The others scramble to defend themselves, while Lu Chaoge answers with a blue sword-like strike that cuts through the panic and turns exploration into battle. The monster fight becomes a public lesson in how frightening calm can be. A long-haired swordsman, called sect leader or senior brother Lu by the people around him, faces powerful beasts while the disciples watch from a distance. He does not rush. He studies the pressure, tests black and blue sword energy, and cuts into the charging creatures with controlled precision. The young male disciple watching him is shaken, because knowing someone is strong and seeing that strength tear through danger are completely different things. Soon the crowd begins connecting him to the mysterious sword expert they have heard about. That misunderstanding only grows when a huge sword-intent attack, carves across the battlefield. But the beasts keep coming, and Lu notices something important nearby. Instead of lingering for applause, he moves toward the signal, dragging the danger with him. Now the battle tightens around a horned beast known as the Iron Rhinoceros. Lu Chaoge keeps partly hidden while a blue-robed swordsman steps forward first, meeting the monster's wild slashes with polished technique. The swordsman can read the attacks, but Lu Chaoge is reading something bigger, the difference between skill, fear, and pressure. Then ink-like power floods the battlefield, and a system-like level-up effect flashes through the moment. To the disciples, this looks like another impossible breakthrough. To the beast, it looks like disaster. The Iron Rhinoceros starts to panic, and that is the turn. A monster that was charging like a predator suddenly feels cornered. It rushes forward in desperation anyway, because fear leaves it no smarter option. Lu Chaoge prepares a piercing blue attack from above, and the beast runs straight into the worst possible answer. The fight refuses to stay simple. A blue-white robed sword cultivator gathers icy energy and attacks the summoned beasts, confident they cannot overwhelm the sect leader's side. For one clean moment, it looks like sword skill and ice might control the field. Then a dark, winged, or shadowy enemy counters him, blocking and redirecting the assault as if it saw the move before it happened. That is the scary part. This opponent is not just throwing beasts forward. It is calculating. Elsewhere, a long-haired black-robed man handles a glowing red orb tied to a corpse-like or water-bound scene, while purple-black flame, poison, beasts, and demonic energy swallow the battlefield. But control has a cost. By the end, the monster-like enemy is restrained by a bright, icy hand, and the reason lands hard. Its hands are already busy controlling the beasts. When the violence clears, the red forest becomes a stage for one of Lu Chaoge's strangest talents, looking profound while the system does business in the background. A defeated demon cultivator lies crushed, green energy lingers near the body, and the disciples stare at Lu Chaoge like he has just confirmed every impossible rumor about himself. They decide his restraint must have been protection. In their minds, he waited because the enemy was too dangerous for them, not because the situation was messy or convenient. Meanwhile, the system offers rewards after he finishes off the dying opponent, including treasure and a huge experience gain. There is even a rule like feeling around killing someone near death. Lu Chaoge hesitates over whether the corpse holds anything useful, orders Dongli to clean up, and then a disciple asks why he did not unleash his sword from the start. The focus shifts from open combat to reputation, old legends, and hidden watchers. Lu Chaoge is surrounded by contradictions. Some voices treat him as worthless, while other memories suggest he has brushed against heaven's will. The white jade capital enters the story like a myth pressing through the background, with 12 towers, 5 cities, and talk of divine beings granting longevity. That matters because the world suddenly feels much larger than one poor sect and one forest fight. Soon Lu Chaoge travels with companions toward a hidden destination tied to Longevity Mountain. He explains that suspicious phenomena must be investigated carefully because outsiders may already be paying attention. Around him, several women compete for favor and offer resources, while a blue-robed companion tries to calm the tension. Night falls, a marked token is activated near a stone monument, and someone arrives. The night scene brings the purple spirit back, and now the clue finally has a name. Lu Chaoge stands near a stone marker while the glowing fox-like soul creature demands something from him. He does not treat it as a sacred horror. He treats it like a tool that might become useful for anti-assassination or restraint, though he also admits spirit-related authority will not be easy to handle. A hidden attacker appears in his thoughts, and then he shows the spirit a dark square, token glowing with purple light. The object is a purple moon badge, connected to the Purple Moon Association and possibly to a fallen assassin-like woman from his memory. Lu Chaoge questions whether carrying it proves official membership or only loose association. Before answers become clean, the spirit cracks and malfunctions, leaving him annoyed, but not helpless. He remembers this group from his previous life. This stretch works because every small problem becomes a larger warning. The disciples want revenge, but Lu Chaoge knows they are not ready. The sect needs protection, but it cannot afford real defenses. The forest looks like a monster hunt, but it becomes a demonstration of sword intent, system rewards, and hidden demonic control. And the purple spirit, which first seems like a weird supernatural pest, leads straight to the Purple Moon Association. That is the real escalation. Lu Chaoge's low-profile act keeps failing because danger keeps making him look more legendary. His disciples misunderstand him, his enemies underestimate him, and even his mistakes produce clues. Now the story is not only about surviving demon cultivators. It is about what Lu Chaoge remembers, what the badge proves, and who else is watching from the shadows. Subscribe for the next recap, because the Purple Moon Trail is only getting darker.